Hello and welcome to another episode of Business PNG. I'm Merabatulo and I hope you've been having a marvelous festive season so far. In this episode, we take you all the way to the autonomous region of Bougainville. Bougainville has once again achieved another historical milestone, the reopening of the once long-lost national airport that is Aropa. The once international airport that was closed during the height of the Bougainville crisis is now open for normal flight operations. Aropa Airport is one of Bougainville's success stories, a high-impact project completed in less than 3 months under the supervision of the National Airports Corporation and a few other contractors. And it was a project delivered in a win-win solution between the national and autonomous Bougainville governments. Now that the airport is open, the future looks brighter than ever for Bougainville, opening up a door for many business opportunities and economic activities. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and Bougainville President, Chief Dr. John Momis, commissioned the Aropa Airport. We join Fabian Hakelitz for this Aropa special.
It is the missing airport of Papua New Guinea that now completes the list of 22 national airports. The airport that served the then North Solomons province in the good golden Panguna days, located in Kiata district, central Bougainville. And any passenger or commuters that time has a story to tell about the once Aropa International Airport. At the peak of the Bougainville crisis in 1989, operations shut down when the conflict boiled. Aropa, the once international airport, is now open again after 25 years of closure. The excitement was seen. Children, men and women who turned up in numbers to witness this historical event, the reopening of the Aropa Airport, and also to catch a glimpse at the Prime Minister and those others who came outside of Kiata to be part of the celebration. The Aropa Airport reopening. People had mixed feelings, joyful, emotional, and even a teardrop for those who recall the adventures to the once international airport. The opening was added extra flavor when 3 chartered aircrafts made the first landing, airlines PNG and New Guinea, then Trebole, Mangilo Peles. The first aircraft was airlines PNG, carrying the landowners of Aropa. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and the national government delegation flew in Air New Guinea's Q400 aircraft, the second that touched down at Aropa. The Prime Minister was then welcomed by Bougainville President Chief Dr. John Momis to Aropa. Central Bougainville MP, who's also the National Communications Minister, Jimmy Miring-Toro, thanked the national government for its commitment to rebuild infrastructure in the autonomous region. It will increase the capacity of service delivery.
Projects like Aropa Airport, ladies and gentlemen, are uniting force for the people of Bougainville. They bring people together as one people. People from everywhere will come here to use this service. It will be a meeting place and a common ground for our people from South, Central, and North Bougainville, and not forgetting our outer islands. I proudly extend my hands to you all to come and use this service.
The national government was also acknowledged for honoring the Bougainville Peace Agreement and the commitment to restore services. The reopening of Aropa Airport is a historical milestone and achievement for the people of the autonomous region of Bougainville, as it will link many more developments to come.
Nadesala, Tamilukim Airport, Milukim Balusikam, Milukim Olosem. You me too. Mama, you may fly away. Now you may participate. Long a good plus something, long world, Mamba, Emmy come up him, Emmy widen him, horizon, long people, long Bougainville, now only Bamba pine him. Trupla potential is stop inside long Yumi.
In his speech, Prime Minister Peter O'Neill thanked the autonomous Bougainville government for the leadership in ensuring that the high-impact project was delivered on time. Also, the Program Management Unit and the National Airports Corporation for implementing the required guidelines, including the contractors involved.
No can think also miblagat narblakan kan agenda. Miblagat enough politics blo mibla lo Wagane. Why do I need Bougainville politics? I got enough problems in Wagane. So me no come lo play politics lo Bougainville no God. Me come lo one bla rota sol. Honor him commitment all papa na all tubuna na okata line blo me walk him lo line lo Bougainville. That's all. And this government will continue to do that.
The Prime Minister and Bougainville President then commissioned the Aropa Airport, marking the new era for the commencement of flight operations to Kiata. In commemorating this special Bird of Paradise service into Aropa, mainland Bougainville, the national flag carrier named one of its Q400 aircraft, Papa X-Ray Tango, as Kiata, for a maiden flight to Aropa Airport. Negotiations are also well underway to link Aropa with the international communities, starting with Solomon Islands, then Cairns, Australia. State and Investments Minister Ben Micah was proud to witness the reopening and commencement of air services to Aropa.
Now, integrating Bougainville and Papua New Guinea and the rest of the world, this is our opportunity today. So, I like asking all people, long respecting all assets from New Guinea, long this building, this balus, respecting assets from airline PNG, respecting assets from Mangi Place. Now, I like announcing today on some negotiation I'm on, one-time government of Solomon Islands, now Solomon Island Airways, so that balance to from Solomon Island and New Guinea by connecting flight from Aropa. So next year, we go to Munda and I go to Moniaratu.
National flag carrier Air Niugini was one of the state-owned entity that honored the national government's call to resume services in Arawa this year after the Prime Minister's goodwill visit to the autonomous region of Bougainville. On December 20, Air Niugini resumed its first commercial flight.
Air Niugini is very happy to be back to Aropa Airport after 25 years. It's a long time. It's a long time, and we worked hard together with our friends from NAC in playing our role in actually bringing back services to Aropa Airport.
The Aropa Airport was one of the high-impact projects successfully delivered by the national and autonomous Bougainville governments. This project was funded under the Special Intervention Funds and jointly managed by the Program Management Unit. The National Airports Corporation was engaged as the project management consultants as the airport specialist. The push for Aropa Airport be reopened was a call from the national government as part of its renewed commitment to restore services in the autonomous region of Bougainville from its crisis ashes. It's the crisis that resulted on the closure, breakdown and withdrawal of services. Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, in his goodwill visit to the autonomous region on January this year, spoke on the national government's focus to improve service delivery in the autonomous region of Bougainville.
Maybe got big respect the contribution of Bougainville of Papua New Guinea, especially online of Panguna and Panguna gold mine. Panguna, you work in the economy of Papua New Guinea after independence and is strong. Panguna wakim na papunigini emi develop. Mibla lagin yubla sawe also. O land bla panguna na Bougainville. Papunigini ino lustintin lo yubla.
Earlier talks were held between leaders of the national government, Bougainville, and the Aropa airport landowners for the airport to be reopened. Dialogues were based on the reopening of the Aropa airport and for the people to be part and parcel of the development as active recipients of basic government services. And a major business link was through entry ports like airport and wharf facility that charted the way forward. Landowner spokesperson Gabriel Sala in an interview said to start a project in a conflict zone like Bougainville, especially Aropa, took time to build trust and confidence.
Every time we like starting Aropa airport, because we play got 6 plug lane. We play 4 minutes for Aropa airport and have 6 plug lane. So now, only mark him yourself, but spoke person down. Yeah, now on 2014 now. ABC like thinking on the national government, like working airport now, only putting DSN officer now.
The Aropa airport project was implemented in the midst of so many mixed perceptions, especially from the people of central Bougainville, where the conflict also originated. During the Bougainville peace process, the Aropa area was still under the control of Makami factions, who never wanted to be part and parcel of the Bougainville peace agreement. In consideration on the sensitivity of the issue, a landowner-focused risk management strategy was developed for the Aropa airport project. An effective and efficient strategy was needed not to disturb the progress of the project. We talked with Edward Kenai, manager of Program Management Unit.
As a project to be funded by the Special Intervention Fund, and the Prime Minister gave undertaking that it has to be completed in 3 months. To try and complete the project in 3 months in a post-conflict setting, it's impossible.
On March this year, the autonomous Bougainville government and the National Airports Corporation then signed a memorandum of understanding with the Aropa landowners.
MOU was formed the basis of now an NAC getting back into Bougainville to actually undertake that project. And so we also entered into what we call a project management consultancy contract with NAC for them to manage that project because they were specialists in that project. The other MOU that was signed was between ABG and the landowners. And that was to localize any issue that would arise from the project. And we know all over the country there are developments that's taking place, infrastructure developments all over the country, and there's certain projects that are hindered because of landowner issues, because of disputes, disgruntled landowners. So ABG had to enter into, to come up with an MOU signed between the landowners and ABG. That was to localize any issue that may arise.
The first move was the appointment of a community liaison officer to mediate between landowners, ex-combatants, Aropa Makami faction, and the autonomous Bougainville government. The officer was contracted, who represented the program management unit on the ground and during the duration of the project.
And we made sure that we had to engage with the landowners every week, in fact every day, just to make sure that this project got off the ground. And so you realize that when the Aropa project was being implemented, there was no noise, there was no disruption, no landowner dispute, there was no one wanted to go and stop the project.
The National Airports Corporation is the project management consultants of the Aropa Airport. It was the dream for the corporation that began in 2007 to re-establish the long-lost airport, says Chief Operating Officer Sylvester Kennedy.
We have been able to foster this working relationship, which has now resulted in the completion of this project. The project was accelerated by the announcement and the support by the Prime Minister early this year, and that basically has been a driving force to ensure that this project is completed. So what we decided to do was to split the contract into 3 phases and award them to 3 separate contracts so that they work in parallel. And the challenge we faced there was being able to appoint companies that were compatible in Bougainville and also have Bougainville content that would be received well by the people. And we've been able to do that quite successfully.
The autonomous region of Bougainville has long been regarded as one that has potential to be an economic powerhouse within Papua New Guinea. Prior to independence in 1975, the then North Solomons province was home to the Panguna mine, at the time the world's largest open cut mine. It was also home to a very vibrant agricultural activity. Since the airport's closure at the peak of the Bougainville crisis, there was total breakdown of government services like proper road network, health, education, and most importantly, the Aropa airport that caused suffering to people from Central and South Bougainville. They had to travel all the way to Boca to catch flights to their desired destinations. That is costly and time-consuming. On Friday, December 12, 2014, Aropa Airport was commissioned for flight operations by PNG Prime Minister Peter O'Neill and Autonomous Bougainville Government President Chief Dr. John Momis. This event was a milestone with the potential as a catalyst for business to once again flourish. Francis Kaupa is the manager for liquid trading in Arawa, a locally owned business organization. From humble beginnings, liquid trading has been steadily growing its operations throughout the autonomous region. The reopening of Aropa is blessing for businesses in Arawa, and the resume of flight operations complements shipping services like this, which will be beneficial for the people of Bougainville.
You mean got this airport, Aropa airport you close off, so now I'm pick demand through all business houses. We must go out and them all palos, bring more something come hurry up, because sometimes all ship I'm sorry more one blong ola, lo come inside. So now we sa Aropa you close off now, was a business blow, was Araba business houses here and by improving on top.
The views expressed by Mr. Kaupa are reflective on growth of many other small to medium enterprises that currently trade within Arawa. It will help facilitate the movement of cargoes to and from, as most times there are delays on cargoes transported by ships. The Aropa airport is a plus that will contribute to the many business and economic developmental activities, and a gateway that will link the autonomous region of Bougainville to other provinces in Papua New Guinea and the rest of the world straight from Kiata. While many businesses concentrate on trading store goods, one sector likely to see increased growth is the tourism industry. Teresa Chaintong, a prominent woman leader of Central Bougainville, shared her aspirations on the tourism sector. And local business must now venture into catering for the future demand for tourist numbers who will flock into Bougainville to take in the sights and sounds of this paradise.
Tourism is one area where we talk about mining, but we also must talk about tourist development, because the infrastructures and also when you look at this is like a QWEC in its own timing. It's like a Pearl of the Pacific, this place. We never really look at tourism development here before, but this time, tourism and mining and all that, mining is unrenewable. Tourism, there's a beauty here. Even though we went through crisis, but the beauty of Bougainville, including Central, it's still here. And I think this is where the young people must also realize we have a beautiful place here where we should be very proud of and take ownership of it. And then make money out of the beauty of the place.
The airport will improve transport, infrastructure networks and boost the economy. It will be the generator for Bougainville's internal revenue to support its autonomous government.
We are in the rehabilitation and rebuilding states. So we are earning a little bit out of what we have. Like I'm also improving my guest houses. We also see the bigger picture. At the bigger picture, we also see the economic development through tourism industry. The ships have been calling in, and it's been helping us, you know. So slowly we are recovering.
And so if our people just understand that and start to build up the economy from the village level, and I know that you know, so much resources have been spent here in Bougainville already over the last 25 years. Things like one of them is setting up the micro Bougainville house money, that kind of thing. You know, people in the villages know the culture of saving. They know the culture of being entrepreneurship. And I know that a lot of Bougainvilleans are very good business people. And like I said, it only needs for the government to provide the service that the people will use to create their own development.
For airline companies like the national flag carrier and Eugenie, the airport will support the government and the people of Bougainville, strengthening bilateral relations. And Eugenie, one of the state-owned entity, have opened its sales office in line with the national government's directive to restore services in Bougainville.
When we were given the direction from the government, we came in partnership with Post PNG, opened up an office. Now the reason why we did that was that to provide service to our people, Central Bougainville and South Bougainville. Because as you can appreciate today, a lot of our people have to go all the way up to Buka and fly in and out of Buka. So what we're doing now is we're reopening Aropa airport, and that gives me confidence and gives the airline confidence in the services that's being provided to Bougainville.
With the reopening of Aropa, businesses on Bougainville can once again rise from the ashes.
The reopening of Aropa Airport is a bonus for the autonomous region of Bougainville, as it will assist to generate internal revenue from economic activities that will take place. With the airport facility now being reopened, this has made travelling easy and accessible, especially for the people of Central and South Bougainville. A new beginning indeed. From the Business PNG team, we'd like to thank you for your support and for following our business program right throughout 2014. Until next year, I'm Meribatulo, and this is Business PNG.